So it is 5:30 and I am calling this meeting to order. First, a reminder that meetings of the Select Board are meetings conducted in public. They are not meetings of the public. Nonetheless, members of the public shall be afforded reasonable opportunities to express opinions about matters conducted by the Select Board so long as order is maintained. The rules for public comment are: at the conclusion of a Select Board discussion on an agenda item, but before any action is taken, there may be 10 minutes afforded to public comment. Comments made by the public must be addressed to the chair, to the Select Board as a whole, and not to any individual members of the Select Board or members of the public. Members of the public must be acknowledged by the chair before speaking. If a member of the public has already spoken on a topic, they shall not be recognized again until others have first been given the opportunity to comment. Order and decorum shall be maintained throughout the meeting. Personal, impertinent, threatening, or profane remarks will not be tolerated. For those who are participating via Zoom, please note that chat is not an appropriate avenue for public comment. All public comments must be made verbally when acknowledged by the chair. Please silence all cell phones, and a reminder to all that this meeting is being recorded and may appear on the internet. Okay, so are there adjustments to the agenda?
I have none.
Do you want to move appointment policy down to reports?
Yes, and ARPA policy up to unfinished business.
Okay. So appointment policy is going down into reports, and ARPA policy is going into unfinished business.
Resolution. ARPA
Resolution. ARPA. Okay, so I have cryptic arrows here. So we'll put appointment policy as number D, as letter D in Select Board Reports, and ARPA Resolution as item C in unfinished business. Anybody else have any adjustments to the agenda?
It should be B though.
Oh, you're right. It should be B. And then this would be C. Anyway, they're going at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
Of the list.
Of the list.
Yes.
All right, so can I hear a motion to approve the minutes of July 12th, 2023?
So moved.
One second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of July 12th, 2023. Anybody have anything? Nope. No?
I do.
All right. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. I just want to mention that Eric said he wouldn't be here tonight. I guess he's in Maine. So I hope he's having fun in Maine. Can I hear a motion for the warrants?
Yes. So moved.
So it's a motion. Can I hear a motion to approve and execute the warrants upon completion of review? So moved. Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the warrants, approve and execute the warrants upon completion of review. Karen?
Payroll warrant dated July 28th, 2023 in the amount of $26,184.19. So it's not out of the ordinary.
Okay.
A little bit of overtime for the highway department because of that July 10th storm.
Okay.
And the pool, but other than that, it's pretty
Okay.
normal. Accounts payable dated July 15th through July 28th, 2023 in the amount of $144,370.17. On this warrant, you will see Bank Chevrolet Cadillac, $68,400. That is the pickup truck that Brian hopefully will be picking up next week.
Okay.
He did shop around, but Auto Mall, they wanted a deposit. They'd have to order the truck because of the color. Didn't know when it was gonna come in. So he did find a red pickup at Banks. So he's happy with it.
Okay.
And the other thing I'm gonna let this board know is Banks would not give us a reasonable trade-in for the pickup we have right now.
Oh,
So Brian did a check on the Blue Book, and he knows he can get a lot more than what Banks offered.
okay.
So we are gonna advertise it and sell it outright.
All right.
So, and we will get some money back.
Cool.
Which will go back into the highway, out of the reserve.
How much are we asking? For the existing truck, the sale?
He was only gonna get like 75, well, the dealer only wanted 7,500,
Right,
but, I don't know what we can get for it.
okay,
So, I didn't ask that question,
okay,
and I wasn't gonna look it up. I trust Brian, so,
right.
but I'm sure we can, double what Banks wanted to give us. So, yeah.
Town of Dummerston, is that taxes?
So Town of Dummerston is taxes for the gravel pit,
Gravel pit.
and that is half. So we pay half and Dummerston pays half. The town of Brookline is taxes, and what'll happen is in the fall, I will invoice them for snow plowing, which offsets this bill.
Okay. Well, it's in Dummerston, so do they actually pay taxes, or they just are forgiving half of them? It doesn't matter, just
Right.
curious.
Right.
Okay,
Well, they're probably, yeah.
okay.
So the other thing too, Wyndham Regional Commission, Wyndham County Humane Society, those are appropriations that are in the budget.
Okay,
Those are our annual fees. Let's see what else is in here that might be. Everything else. Laura Hack is a gardener for the
Yeah.
library.
if we ask that enough times, we'll all remember.
Yeah. Ron Greenwood is Ron's Husker Bonner over in Townsend.
Okay,
So that was for something for the weed whacker for wastewater treatment plant.
okay. All right, does anybody else have any questions?
I do not.
Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Moving along to public comment on items not on the agenda. Is there public comment in the room? Is there public comment online? Mr. Fairman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Two brief questions. First, toward the end of last week, I noticed walking by that the Vermont AOP erected two signposts at each end of the Sackett Brook crosswalk, but nothing has gone up on them yet. Does anyone know whether we're going to get strobe lights there activated by pedestrians?
Which crosswalk? I'm sorry, which one? The beyond the...
The one that, as you're heading north, you pass Putney General Store, you cross the bridge and there's a crosswalk there that goes to the other side and goes up to Landmark College.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Still waiting.
Okay, no one knows.
That'd be nice.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I was wondering in case anybody knows, maybe I'll call Dummerston and ask them because I'm curious. It would be nice if we could have strobe lights there. People coming down the hill, well, you know how it is driving down the hill. Okay, my second and final question is, and this could be addressed to you, Madam Chair, or to our town manager, I'm not sure. Referring to Vermont Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 4, is any official of the town of Putney an agent authorized by appointment or by law to receive service and process for the town of Putney or the town of Putney Select Board?
We don't have anybody officially, but if you read that procedure, you'll note that it can be served to the select board, to the town manager, to the town clerk, or the treasurer. So any of those are acceptable as far as I can tell.
Where does it say that?
It says it right in the civil procedure that you're reading. I believe.
No, it doesn't.
All right. Well, I can forward it to you.
Well, I'm looking at it right now, so
Okay.
this is not to argue the point, but I'm looking at it, the actual document from LexisNexis, which is where we find Vermont court rules. So thank you. We can take that under advisement and we can communicate offline. Thank you. That's it for my questions.
Okay. Thank you. Are there any other public comments online? Any comments in the room? Anything on the select board? All right, moving on to the town manager's report.
So highway department, Monday's July 10th storm. There was minimal damage from the storm, but Putney is going after FEMA money.
Okay.
So we did lose Parkman Wood culvert,
Yeah.
and there's some other, so I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
You know, it'll be labor, it'll be first responders, you know, that were,
And it'll come back to us like 4 years from now.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens with that. We received the 2024 paving grant, so I executed the grant, and Brian and I will work together to put it out to bid. He did state that it will be River Road from Route 5 down past the highway department.
Okay.
Will be paved, so that will happen this year. People will be inconvenienced, and my hope is plenty of notice will go out ahead of time. So that's all I can say right now. Structures grant for Westminster Road. Bell Engineering has completed the engineering plans for the project. Stream alteration permit has been requested and is in progress. Ryan Harlow and I will work together to put the project out to bid. This project also will be done this year, which means October has to be completed. There will be a partial road closure for Green Mountain Power to raise trees on Westminster Road starting August 1st through the 3rd. So they're gonna have a big crane blocking one lane. That work commences at 661 Westminster Road, goes into Westminster West. So it's only about 1,250 feet in Putney,
Okay.
but they will take care of the signage and all that stuff.
Okay.
So just letting the public know about that. And painting of the parking lines and crosswalks has started.
I saw them out there. Was it
Yes.
this morning and yesterday? I'm not sure.
yeah. I didn't see it.
There may be some places that didn't get painted because a car might have been parked there, so they will come back to it. I did mention the purchase of the new truck, the pickup for the highway department. A public announcement from my office. So no community task force, committee, commission should be contacting Wyndham Regional Commission directly. Wyndham Regional Commission does work for the town of Putney. All requests should come through my office, the town manager's office. Wyndham Regional Commission is being like bombarded with phone calls, and they're staffed in a way that grant funding pays for most of their time. So multiple people asking the same questions, and so from now on, the public needs to come to me if they want to address Wyndham Regional Commission.
Okay.
I talked with Chris Anthony, he called me and explained. I'm like, okay, I'll make an announcement.
Is that mostly because of a Vermont Council on Rural Development?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is
I mean, it's
Yeah,
exciting that people
it's exciting,
are having,
yeah, but
you know, a lot of
totally.
engagement, but yeah, there needs to be a streamlined process for
Yeah.
things like
Right,
that,
right.
definitely.
But
So, and I will talk to, usually there's a meeting with Mike Costco and all the chairs.
Yes.
So I can make that announcement there as well. So, with that being said, there are open seats that should be considered a priority at this point. As you know, Wyndham Regional Commission is still seeking a person as a town representative from Putney. I think this is a good opportunity for somebody. Communication and collaboration is very important, and this town rep seat is very important. I've been stressing that for the last 3 years. So if anybody wants more information, they can call my office.
how many seats do we have? Just one?
We have two.
Who's the first one?
Stephen Dotson. But,
So we need another.
yes,
Yeah. Cora?
Is that a full-time position?
no. So,
Is it a paid position?
no,
It's just, yeah, it's a representative from the town on the commission.
yeah. So the commission has a lot of different advisory boards. So you'll sit on a board and then work with them. Like I was on the transportation board. And if you become a chair, then you have to go to the executive committee meetings as well. So, but basically you're a commissioner and they try to get people from each town, 2 people from each town. There's a lot of good information coming from the Regional Planning Commission, and keeping that communication open for Putney right now is really important,
Well,
very important.
sounds like it might be a good position for somebody who's engaged in one of the 3 task forces, actually.
So I think we should seek someone out unless someone comes forward.
No, I think that's a good idea. It makes me think of how best to get the information out about what the regional commission is, because people don't know. Why, you know, why would anybody know, right? Lots of people are not aware. So I'm thinking of our communications person, you know, like a post, you know, Facebook post, or, you know, front porch forum posts that really address what is the regional commission, what is this role, would probably be helpful.
Yeah.
Do a video. Pardon?
Do a video.
Do a video, yeah.
So, also DV fiber. So Core Trowbridge is
Yeah.
sitting on that board right now, but we should have a second person.
We don't have a second person?
No, Mike Muriki stepped down.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, and that was a little while ago.
Okay.
So that's
I missed that piece of information.
Yeah, it's okay. The other priority is Wyndham Southeast School District Independent Budget Review Board.
Right.
They are still looking for a Putney resident to volunteer to sit on this budget review board. And we were asked
Yeah,
as a board to try to
find somebody.
find somebody that might want to sit on that board. And I spoke to Ruby. I can have Ruby come in and address the select board with an update.
That might be, that's a good idea, actually, yeah.
Yep.
We should be doing that with all of our boards.
So maybe in August.
And is the Wyndham Southeast Supervisory Union budget, say it again, the budget?
Independent budget review.
Independent budget review. Okay.
The select board was sent an email a while back.
Yeah.
So.
It was from the chair of the board.
Was it February or something?
It was a
like that.
while back, yeah.
So, I just wanted to bring those three up. There are other available seats. You can go to our website and you can always stop in here and ask and we can provide information.
Right. You know, I'm just gonna say, we are tapped out select board members here with a handful of community people. So you know, if we want this to get out, we gotta really figure out how to be communicating to the community, you know, about educating them about what these things are, what the need is, how
Yeah.
that involved, you know, because us talking about it here isn't gonna reach
help that much,
anybody,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
As far as the school representative is concerned, if this, you know, the school could reach out too. The leadership council
Right.
should be able to
Right.
put some feelers out. So, and presumably Ruby's already talked to them. But
And
I agree that there
Yeah,
need to have
right.
more.
I just want to backtrack a little bit. So at several different meetings, and I know at town meeting, we've had tables with all of our open seats. So the poster you made,
Yeah,
so it's not like we haven't tried.
nope, we just have
So,
to keep trying,
yeah.
and trying different ways, and yeah, I know we've tried, and we just have
Yeah.
to do it more,
So,
yeah.
Right. Well, people's circumstances change, so if we
Right.
keep putting them out there, then eventually somebody will step up, hopefully.
And also we make it, I feel like a big part of it is an educational process. I mean, I'm like Wyndham Regional Commission, I didn't know what that was before I came on the select board, and even after, it took me a year of being on the select board before I knew what that was. So we just have to assume that people don't know what we're talking about and give them a motivation to
Yeah.
understand what it is and why it might be to their best interest to serve on the board and in the interest of the community. Yeah,
Yeah.
because folks don't know.
So I met with Margot Gia and we went over the application process for the energy audits on the fire station, town hall, and the library. So the audit is just for the building only. I did have the wastewater treatment plant on that list, but we're not gonna do an audit on that building. So I will be preparing the application, it's online. I will be preparing that application probably tomorrow because I needed information like square footage of the buildings and how much oil, electricity, propane that we've used like in the last 3 years. But thankfully, we've been tracking all that. So we're prepared to just submit.
Okay.
And a level 1 and a level 2 don't cost any money, so I'm gonna go for the level 2 because they'll do blower door tests.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's it for now.
Okay. Anybody on the select board have any questions about the town manager's report?
No, but I mean, I think we should note too that the Wyndham Windsor Housing Project is set to jet, yeah?
I had that on my list and I'm like, so yeah, Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust, Supreme Court upheld the town's permitting process, as did the environmental court. So I did speak with Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust this week, and they're looking to have spring 2024 construction.
Cool. Groundbreaking. How long will it
Groundbreaking.
take them to build it? Do you have any idea once they break ground?
Well, so their permit is good for 2 years, and it starts the day the court rendered the decision. So they'll have 2 years from that date. And Putney Landing, I want to say, so I came in at the tail end when that was just being finished.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it took that long.
no, I'd say a year.
Yeah.
But there was 18 over there, there's gonna be 25 here in 2 buildings, so it may take a little bit. So, yeah, this one I'm gonna start right from groundbreaking to like, so
Yeah.
it'll be, it's gonna be a lot of work, but, we do what we have to do, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a
So,
lot of housing.
Yeah,
no, it's exciting.
yeah, it's good that we're almost at the end of that process. Comments online, Mr. Fairman?
Madam Chair, I'll just add to our town manager's excellent report on this. Not only the construction of Putney Landing, but the construction of the Bellows garage, where they realized that they actually had to demolish the building because the footings and the foundations couldn't hold the weight. And the one they're doing up in Windsor, next to the Windsor Diner, once they break ground, they move very fast. You know, they hire top drawer contractors and clearly top drawer architects and project managers, and the building simply goes up. So I'm sure this one will be the same. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments about the town manager's report? Online? In the room? Select board? Okay, hearing none, moving on to boards, committees, and commissions. We don't have anything. Select board items, new business. We also don't have anything. Select board unfinished business. So the first thing is the Putney Community Block Party new proposed date. So what's the new proposed date?
So the new proposed date is August 11th, as long as that's a Friday, right? August 11th, yes, August 11th.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm second guessing myself. August 11th. The only concern that has come up for Jessica Green and me over the last week and a half, I would say, is that we still, as far as we can, I mean, we've certainly had assistance from various people who maybe don't have capacity to like fully dive in and volunteer but want to be supportive. But sort of, it's largely Jessica and me who have been planning everything, and we are glad to be going into August knowing that we've already done a lot of that legwork. However, it's feeling like quite a lot for two full-time working parents to take on. And we are putting out a call to volunteers as soon as the new date is approved, with the caveat that if by a week from this Friday, we have not received a critical mass of responses from volunteers, we are going to cancel the block party entirely for this summer and try again next summer, so that we are not running ourselves ragged.
Okay. So, so we'll go ahead and just approve a new date anyway, and if you cancel, you cancel. So can you remind me what the times were and the locations?
Absolutely. So the road closure would be from the top of Signal Pine to through traffic from Signal Pine, top of Kimball Hill, from Signal Pine down to Route 5, and then to all traffic would be honestly actually below Phineas White Road, but that's what we had was Phineas White Road was last month, but we walked it and we can't really do much on the steep part of the hill from Phineas White down, but there's not really another clear thing. So so we are, we did initial outreach in July to businesses and also to specifically businesses on Kimball Hill, and feedback that we got was that some businesses needed more notice. So they're aware that we're planning on August 11th, but we'll just make sure we reach out to everyone as soon as, assuming it's approved, as soon as that's all set, we'll reach out to all of those folks on Kimball Hill, and we're gonna just put a letter on the doorstep of all of the residents, because that seems like the best way to connect with people, particularly those who will be in the no traffic zone.
Right, yeah.
And we also, last month, I received permission from Peter Shumlin to use the tavern lawn. And so I'm gonna just reach out again and request that we can do that this time as well.
Okay, cool. And what were the times?
Oh, sorry. So the times are from 4 to 8. So setup would start at 4, and the road would reopen at 8. And the hours for the block party itself are from 5 to 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, can I hear a motion to close Kimball Hill from Signal Pine to Route 5 on August 11th, 2023 between 4 and 8 p.m.
So moved. Second.
So it's been moved and seconded to close Kimball Hill from Signal Pine down to Route 5 on August 11th, 2023 from 4 to 8 p.m. Any other discussion among the board? Karen. Wow.
So I just want to remind and suggest that there be a map for the detoured areas. I would ask and suggest traffic control, that's in place, to work with Tom Goddard to be sure that first responders might be there. But those are like logistics that are important, so I'd like to make sure that
Do you want,
those are in place.
okay, do you want those in the motion?
I don't think they need to be in the motion, but
Okay.
I think as long as it's on record.
Yeah, okay, so,
Yeah.
so do those things.
And we actually have in our sort of to-do list to connect with everybody who does the Halloween Kimball Hill event to see if there are existing maps. If not, we'll create them, but
There are.
that if we could borrow those, that's
Yeah.
gonna be our goal.
Yeah.
And yes, I need to connect with Tom again.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you.
How many do you anticipate will be there?
That's such a great question, and that's something that Tom had asked us last time, and it's really, we really don't have a great way to gauge it. Even something like, an online event, it's hard to know based on who our SVPs. But we, the Community Supper Committee, and again, I'm on that committee, so it's the same night as the Community Supper. I'm talking with them about it, I'm on that committee, but we had, I think, just over 200 people at the last community supper, which was hosted by the Kitchen Queens, who it's always extra fun. The food's really good. Like it's an event, but that leads me to anticipate that there will be, at least 300 people sort of moving through over the course of the,
That's a good crowd.
3 hours or
Who's
so. Yeah,
Who's cooking?
Landmark.
Ah, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, good, that might get Landmark folks
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Although there's probably not that many people on campus at that
Right now.
That's true. Although I think they're starting to do the swap. And that's something that that's one of the food, when we initially pitched this, part of the goal was to make it super accessible to everybody, which is still a key objective. And what we are thinking about is we don't want to put undue pressure on the hosts who happen to be doing the supper.
Right.
When they're doing the supper, we also don't want the alternative to the free by donation supper to be that you've got to go and pay for food. So we're trying to come up with some sort of a middle ground because we also really want people to go to the general store.
Right.
And we really want people to, I spoke with Liz and they were going to do a drink special, just have their doors open, do drink, like a Black Friday drink special. So we want people to take advantage of that. What we don't want is for people who are expecting to arrive and have a meal and check that off their list for the week to then have to go and purchase something. So that's another reason that we really want a lot of volunteers collaborating with us is that, we've been thinking about this for however many weeks and we're our ideas are a little bit dry at this point, our idea well. So we want to hear other people's suggestions. So anybody who's listening. But yeah, we're gonna put out a call on Facebook for volunteers.
Great.
And we're also gonna add an email address to flyers that we're gonna put around town.
Nice.
But again, by next Friday, we will confirm whether or not we're gonna move forward. And if we don't have the volunteers, it's just not fair to ourselves to do it. So,
Okay. All right.
so next year, we try again.
Further discussion on the board? Comments online, Mr. Fairman?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Two very briefly. First, regarding refreshments during the block party, Kim and Mike at the Putney General Store are very entrepreneurial. Just make sure they know about it, and I bet they'll be ready. The other thing is, concerning the closure of that road. Of course, it's a good idea, but in addition to of course, Tom Gardner will make sure that our local EMS knows about it, but it might be worthwhile to notify rescue separately, not just regarding Putney, but I'm thinking about, let's say they're making a run to Westminster West. They're going to plan to run up Kimball Hill, and they won't be able to. Now, of course, I suppose what they would do is go around Sand Hill Road, but it'd be better if they knew about it when they're beginning their run than that they get there, because in these emergencies, for any of us, minutes count. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's probably something Tom would coordinate anyway. Yeah. Is there other further comments online regarding the new block party date? Any other comments in the room? Select board, it's all good? All right, hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have a new date.
Thank you. Thank
All right.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry I'm gonna do what I did last time. I gotta sneak out.
That's fine.
Have fun, enjoy.
Thank
You can always watch the recording later.
Yes, I
See you quick. Bye.
All right.
will. Bye.
So the next thing is the ARPA resolution.
Here we go. Here we go. All this is I took a few whereases from the beginning of the ARPA resolution for the committee, you know, I put a few of those in here that are just like background information about ARPA. And then I added all the things that we've already discussed, nothing new. There might be typos, but no qualitative difference to anything. I just put it in a resolution format. And I'm happy to read it if you want me to. Or-
This make it online?
No.
Okay.
So, and the fact that we just got it tonight, I think we should be allowed to read it. And then Eric's not here either,
Right.
so.
So do we want to read this and put it on the next agenda?
So does this include the procedure?
Yes, it's all the stuff we've been talking, we've approved. We approved already the
Yeah.
content of it. The difference is the format. That's really the only difference here.
Okay, so, yeah, so did we, the last part is basically the application.
Right? So basically I said that the select board, we won't put it on an agenda until the following questions have been supplied, which is basically what we said.
Mhm.
Then there's the application there. That's what that is.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I'm just eager to
Get it done,
out.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
not to get it done as much as
Get
to
it
get
out.
it
Yeah,
out
yeah,
to
yeah.
people. You know?
I think it's fair if we have a chance just to read it over, make sure it's what we did discuss.
Yes.
And give the public a chance to see it too, because I know they did see it not in resolution form, but, I think that would be a good.
That's great. And then can you put it on the,
Yeah, and I want to make one recommendation.
Mhm.
So when the select board is working on something, if you can get it to me before the meeting, it would be good. That way it'll give us time to
Right.
review it. And we can get it online in the packet.
yes, I know that is ideal. I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not picking on you, Peg,
That's okay.
specifically.
I
but-
deserve it.
No, but I know there are other select board working on multiple documents.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've gone back and forth through work sessions and
Right.
meetings, so, and it's good for the minute taker
yeah.
to have it too for
Yeah.
backup.
Yeah, that makes
So-
sense. And I wouldn't have even considered putting it on the agenda as the resolution to be passed if it wasn't already.
Mostly,
It's
Yeah.
there's no change to the content of it from what we've talked about. But I'm perfectly fine with putting it on
August 9th.
August 9th
okay.
and
Alright.
sending you the Word documents, and if you
Yes.
can put
The
put it in
stuff on
the
the right form, the right font and all that, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
And
thank you for
also-
putting it in
And
this
you're
form
all,
though.
I'm perfectly willing to have you say this, you know, there's a better way to format this, but I just used
The
No,
one
so
that
far
you're
it looks good. I mean, it's not easy doing the policies. Policy procedures are different, resolutions are totally different
right.
than, our policies. But, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to send this
I'm sorry.
to you. Send Word doc
Okay,
ARPA to Karen.
Thank you.
And then it will be on the next.
next agenda, yeah.
Okay.
And I've started putting in notes in my calendar to put things on, to make sure that things are on the agenda. So I just have to remember that we're going to put that,
In the packet and on the agenda.
yeah, ARPA. Yes, okay.
Okay.
Good.
No, that's it.
Good. Anybody want to discuss this any further? Are there public comments online about the ARPA allocation resolution? We're gonna further talk about it on August 9th. There's nobody else public in the room, so if we're done with that, moving on to,
It's my wife and I don't know what to do. Cut her off?
Step outside and take
you wanna
it.
step this, yeah, you wanna step outside?
Thank you, I'm sorry.
Sure.
You can go right in there, Charlie, in the office.
All right.
Okay, should we continue?
Yes.
All right, so we finished that, so next is Selectboard Reports, so the ARPA is not there. So the first thing I have is the social agency policy, so that I worked on that and made the changes that I remembered. We talked about, and I think what I'd like to do, and I sent it to Karen, who can't open it. I sent it to you too, didn't I?
You did send it to me,
Okay,
yeah.
so I think what I'd like to do is put it on either the next agenda or a future agenda, and also give a heads up to the agencies that might be affected. At least the tier A, tier 1, whatever we call them, agencies, so that everybody's, so that they get a fair hearing, basically, so that we can, make change, hear the public and make changes to it appropriately. So I guess the next step would be to send it to the select board to read, and have it on the next agenda.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good plan? So
Yeah.
basically, I tweaked the social agency policy with the changes that we suggested, and then I also kind of updated the questionnaire with the way that we said that we were going to.
Great.
So those are the two changes. So we'll put that on the next.
Apology again.
So, I'm sorry, you're back. Hi.
Yeah, she didn't realize it was in the middle of the meeting.
Okay.
I turned my phone off.
Okay, thank you. So that's why I say that in the beginning of the meeting. We're gonna, did you hear, how much did you hear? We're gonna move the social agency policy to the next, we'll put it on the agenda for the next
Next
meeting.
time.
And I just wanna reach out to, so the social agencies on that policy, so that they have a chance to, weigh in.
Can I make one comment?
Yeah,
So as we're progressing with the policies, if you want it under the unfinished business where you know you're gonna take action,
Mm-hmm.
you need to let me know that
Yeah.
for the agenda
Yep.
purposes.
I have it down here as a next agenda item that's gonna go
Okay.
on my calendar, that's gonna, when we go through the
Yeah.
agenda, I'll be like, did you
Yeah.
put that there? And I'll,
And while we're doing, and of course the ARPA will go there.
yeah,
Yes,
And while we're doing that policy can we do that appointment policy there for next time? And
Yes.
can you please send me the Word doc of the appointment policy, because that was where we left that. You were gonna send it to me so that I could work on it.
okay, so I have another comment. So send Peg. The appointment policy, did that not go to equity and inclusion as
It
well?
went to them, they looked at they had
We
met
actually did not
after.
have a meeting.
Right,
that
they came-
month,
right,
So we
they
have a
didn't-
meeting tomorrow that we're gonna.
Right.
Right, so with equity and inclusion looking at it as well. I
Right,
mean,
no,
that's-
right. I only talked to Swift as chair of Equity and Inclusion, and you guys were gonna still.
Yeah, we
look at
talked
it.
about it.
Yeah.
But the committee never actually saw it.
Right.
Addressed it.
All right, so I'll send it to you.
Right.
They already have it,
Right,
and then we can,
yes,
all right.
all right,
Hopefully
we'll
it has
we'll strive to put it on to the next, agenda,
right.
to act on. Okay, so the next, do we have anything else to say about social agency policy?
Maybe.
No,
Oh,
Sorry.
huh? Oh, now I have,
Swift.
Swift and Laura. So, I don't know who went up first. So, Laura?
I apologize if this has already been answered. Is the new social agency policy already, the pending new one, already up on the website?
I don't think so because I sent it to Karen and Peg, and apparently Karen couldn't even open it because I sent it as a Google link. But we will put it up when I attach it correct. When I attach it correctly, yeah.
Okay, I'm just passing info on to Hannah, so I want to know what to tell her to look for.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Swift?
So Peg, have you had a chance to make edits yet, or because you didn't have access to the docs, you haven't yet?
I have not.
So I'm not sure what more we can discuss from equity right now, because it's still really in that chaotic formatting that's really hard to wrap your head around.
When are you?
So I don't know if I want to bring it to equity tomorrow when it's in that format, because it's,
Okay,
yeah.
let's do this. If you send this to me ASAP, I will take it and give you something easier to work with by tomorrow evening.
That's
I
great.
have
Okay.
time tomorrow to work on this. So I work well under pressure, timeline.
Awesome.
So that would be great. If Karen's,
Okay.
if you're okay with that, Karen, can you,
I can probably give it to you tonight.
or in the morning is.
Well, it won't be a 9 o'clock meeting, so I can probably handle it.
The night is still young. We can still get there.
Yeah, we can have a party tonight.
No, I want to give it to you now so you can work on it tonight, and you will be
Believe
ready.
me, I won't work on it tonight, but I might work it on it at
All right.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Is there any other
Thank you.
comments online about the social agency policy select board report or on the select board? Okay, moving on to the flag policy.
Yeah, so Christina and I, as part of the Equity Inclusion Committee, met with Jeanette White last week and kind of just had a brainstorming rather than just jumping into crafting the policy. And I'm going to approach the Equity Inclusion Committee tomorrow about the different choices that we have, because Jeanette advocated for a simpler flag policy, and I think the Equity Inclusion Committee is thinking something grander, so
Okay, so maybe there's a happy medium.
maybe.
Okay. Okay. All right. But it's coming along.
Coming along,
Okay,
yes.
perfect. And then we have the appointment policy, which we kind of just talked about. So is there anything else about that? Okay. Does anybody else have anything else to report in the select board reports? We did also work on the, are you, Swift, are you also looking at the new version of the non-working holiday resolution? Did I send that to you?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's on our agenda for tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. So eventually we can get that put on an actual agenda too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Does anybody else have anything to report that didn't make this list? Any other comments online? Nobody's in the room, public. We are in the room. This is not fake. So the next piece is other business. We actually meant to take that off, but we do have it on the agenda. So is there other business on the select board? Is there other business online, Mr. Fairman?
Madam Chair, recalling briefly items not on the agenda where I asked a question about service of process, what was actually going on there was I had emailed our town manager to ask the same question and did not receive a reply. So I wanted to put the Town of Putney Select Board on the record that how service should happen. And yet you are correct that it is as to how service should be made against the town. I just wanted to make sure that this was on the record. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment and just let Mr. Fairman know that I talked to Larry Slayson today regarding your email that you sent me, Mr. Fairman. And by law, it is the select board, town manager, town clerk, town treasurer that can be served. So I held that information until tonight because
You didn't get it until today.
I just got it today.
Yeah.
So it's not that I didn't deal with it, I did. The fact that you didn't get a response, you just got one.
Okay.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Mr. Fairman.
I would simply say that, as always, I refer with the greatest respect to our town manager. I simply made a factual statement, and she has now confirmed as well that she has spoken with our town attorney, so we're all set there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else of other business online? Anything on the select board? Okay, moving on to, do we need an executive session?
We do not.
Does anybody else feel the need for an executive session?
No.
Okay. Okay, then our next meeting date is August 9th, 2023, here and on Zoom. Can I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.